It's deja vu all over again.
Hey! What's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the BS-02 SKYBREAKER. So here we are, and there he is. And first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging right up front. Here we have a lovely image of SKYBREAKER, aka Megs, BS-02 SKYBREAKER, bloody, up top, nothing, on the bottom, nothing, on the side, nothing, on the other side, ages 16 plus, on the back, you have the exact same image that was on the front, and that's basically it for the packaging. And moving right along, here we have SKYBREAKER, and this is a knockoff of the Unique Toys Dragoon, the Last Night Megatron. And this is, I believe, a Black Mamba figure, Black Mamba Mechanical Alliance, AOE Mech. I don't know what they're calling themselves nowadays because it seems like they change their name like every other month. But yeah, this is basically a Black Mamba figure. But yeah, it is a slightly downscaled version of Unique Toys Dragoon. But all in all, though, it's a pretty nice figure. And I do love this mold, so I don't mind having it twice. But let's get in close here so we can take a look at the details. You can see you got some nice details going on. You got the cockpit done in gold, some little gold bits here and there. Little like Cybertronian-ish markings there. On either side, some more gold, some more gold. You can see his cannon plugged right there up top. And the wings. And the back. We got some chains, all that good stuff, the thrusters. You kind of have visible hair syndrome. It's the back of his head there. Yeah, no, it's there. But yes, there is the top. There is the bottom, and he does. He slides as flying things should slide. Hooray for sliding, flying murder jets. I don't know. And for comparison, here it is with the original Unique Toys Dragoon, and I don't know how well we're gonna get all this in frame, but I don't know how well you can tell, but the Black Mamba version is a little bit smaller than the Unique Toys version, and you can see, the details that are done in that copper color on the Unique Toys version are done in gold on the KO. And this figure does have some extra molded detail. You can see that more when we get into robot mode. But yeah, for the most part, there's pretty much same thing going on here as far as the jet mode goes. So there you go. Now, as far as accessories go, he does have his cannon, which again is plugged right up top here on the jet mode to help fill things out, but he does also have his shield. You can see some nice details, some nice gold paint, and here it is with the original Unique Toys version. Let's see if we can get a good shot here. You can see the KO version is a little bit more, a little bit more angular, a little bit more spiky in places. There's a little bit more paint on it than the Unique Toys version. If you look at the back, you can see on the back of the shield of the Unique Toys version, this is just a solid piece, whereas on this one, the post is on a ball joint. But there you have the shield, and of course he has his big old axe sword killing thing of murder death. Okay, nicely done, and when compared to the Unique Toys version, you kind of see the size difference here. See, it's a bit smaller, but you can see on the KO, the details are a lot more pronounced. As you can see there, there's no paint on this one, unfortunately, but you can see there's a lot more detail going on with the sword itself. Again, like I said, the details are a lot more pronounced whereas on this version, the Unique Toys version, it's more flat. So definitely an improvement there as far as I'm concerned, as far as the sculpting goes. But yeah. You have his sword and his shield. As far as the sword goes, you can store it. There is a tab right there. You got this slot in the sword itself. So you can, if you want to, just kind of plug that up there. Oops, a little tight, but it's doable. It's doable. You can plug that up there. As far as the shield goes, people in the Dragoon video, a lot of people told me you can store the shield on the jet mode, and I still don't know how. I don't know. People are just like, just plug it the way you plug it in robot mode, and it doesn't work that way. I don't know. I mean, you can do. I mean, there's that. I guess you can do this. Use that. I don't know. Like, I mean, that works. I guess. I mean, doesn't. That's not the most aerodynamic thing in the world, but I mean, hey, if you need to plug it, I don't know. I don't care about weapon storage, but hey, you know, you can figure that out on your own time. But there you go. He has his weapons. He has a shield. All that good stuff. But yeah, that is basically it for the jet mode. Good looking jet mode. Oh, also the cockpit opens just like on the Unique Toys version. Not that Megatron wants a pilot, but you know, there's a cockpit there. If you want to put a little tiny, you know, little tiny dude in there or something, you can fit something in there. But yeah, overall, very nicely done. And I do like the coloration on this one also. This one is more of a silver. The original Unique Toys version is more like a dark kind of gunmetal color. This one's a lot more silver, so I do like the coloration on this one a bit better. But all in all though, cool looking jet mode. I dig it. But let's get down to transformation, shall we? Get back here, man. Get back here. Alright, so first thing we need to do is we need to remove the cannon. So just unplug this chain, then we can just pop this off, put that off to the side, and we can commence. So, first thing you want to do, take these little fins, just fold those in, take these sections, fold these in, and the transformation is exactly the same as the Unique Toys version, so you're going to see pretty much everything you remember from the original figure. I take these pieces, just untab them, and bring them up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come here to this section. You want to pop this up like so. You can see his hands get hidden in there. Take this, bring this around, swing this over. That will just tab in right there. Same thing on the other side. Just pop this up. Take this, swing this around. That will tab in right there like so. Once you do that, you can untab this section. Then you just kind of pop all this up like that. Lots of tabs and slots to keep all that secured. And you want to untab his forearm from this section as well. And once you have all that freed up, you can take all this and just swing it out like so. And do the same thing on the other side. Just get everything untabbed, get that untabbed, pop this up, and swing all of this out like that. And another thing you want to do is you want to come right up here, untab these sections like so, and then untab these gold sections so this can come outward like that, and that will just give you the clearance that you need to just take all of this and just swing it up and get it out of your way while we work on the legs. So, as far as the legs go, there's quite a bit going on here, as you can see. So we're going to start off with getting his little feet situated. So untab these sections here, swing them to the side, bring it around. There's a little post and port right there. Plug it in, swing it around, bring it down. Post and port right there, and once you've done that, you just rotate this, swing it down, swing this over, bring his toes down. His toes are die cast, by the way, and we're done with that. We're done with his little toesies. So now that we're done with his little toesies, you come here to the wing. This panel will flip up, this panel will flip under, then all of this will flip under like so, and then you just swing this in. That'll tuck in right there. Then you take this section, swing this over like so. You can bring that down, and then This section here will just come up and over. Make sure you bring this little section, make sure that clears. Bring this up, and all that will tab in like that. And that makes his lower leg. And that's very, very clever. There's a lot of clever stuff going on with this transformation. So as far as his thigh goes, you just take this little piece, swing that in, rotate this section all the way around, and then you're rotating this section around, and then this will just tab in right there. There's a little post for a little port right there, so you just collapse that leg up. That will plug in, and there you go. Then you just rotate the leg, bring it down, and there you have a leg all done. Second verse, guess what, is just like the first. And now he has 2 legs. Hooray for legs. So now we just want to come up under here and just swing this around and bring this up. And there he has his butt plate. Yay for butt plates. Now we just bring his legs down. And we can get him standing up. And we can move on to the upper body. Yes, the upper body. So, moving on up. So first thing we are going to do here is just take these sections, flip that in, rotate that around. These are also on springs, just like on the original version. Bring that down, same thing here, flip down, flip in, rotate, tuck that in, there you go. Take the shoulder pads, just swing them around, like so. And then you want to untab these sections here. Now up in here, you have those little sliders. So you take this one, slide that down, just give it a little wiggle. Bump the camera in the process, wiggle. And that'll just go into its own little groove there. And the other one, slide it down, wiggle. It doesn't work unless you say wiggle. It just doesn't. And then just bring that down like so. Once you've done that, you take all this, untab it, open it up, flip up the landing gear, rotate this around, open all this up, open up the nose cone section, flip that in, close that back up, flip this in, that'll bring the this cockpit section with it, just bring that down, then bring this over, close all that up, and there you go. At this point now you can collapse all of this down, make sure that stays open. Bring all that down like so. And now we can just work on his bacular region here. So the arms, you can just kind of bring them out. We can straighten everything out a little bit later. We can take his head, turn it around. It is on a slider right there, so you want to slide it forward like so. And these sections here, you just want to flip those out. You want to bring all this up, and now this will just come up and over. Oh, you want to see what I'm doing, I'm sure. Okay, so just bring the shoulder pads up, get them out of the way, and bring the arms down. There we go. So just bring all of this in. This next section has some tabs and slots that will connect right in there, like so. There are tabs and slots inside the shoulder as well, and you can just kind of feel your way around those. Make sure they're lined up, and there we go. I think we got it all lined up. There we go. We got everything in place there, and now we can just get his arms straightened out. So you just bring that out, rotate, bring that down, just bring it out, rotate, and bring all that down, bring your shoulder pads down. So sometimes this little neck connection doesn't like to stay put. It's one thing that bugs me a little bit about this one. There we go. Just takes a little bit of fiddling to get it to sit solidly. There we go. Now that we've done that, we just come back here. And this back panel just comes up and over, like so. And I think we're done. Are we done? Yes, we're done. Woo, we're done. And there you have SKYBREAKER aka the Last Night Megatron, in his robot mode. And he looks great. I mean, I love the Dragoon, and I love this guy. And this figure does have some improvements as far as the detailing goes. There are some modifications you might want to do to this figure. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But overall, though, he looks fantastic. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is my absolute favorite version of Movie Megs. I just love this design. This looks so freaking cool. But let's get in close here so we can take a look at that Megsy noggin of his. You can see him with the battle mask on. He's got the red going down the side there. But get lots of nice detailing going on. You got some gold in here. And you can see there are some improved bits of detailing here. You can see these sections here have a lot more detail going on. Looks a lot more like an angry face on his belly. He's Krang or something. I don't know. Got some nice metallic red there on the biceps as well as there. You got some more of that gold. These skirt pieces on the original Dragoon, they're rubbery as well, but these are really rubbery. These are like super rubbery. But overall, plastic quality wise, you know, it feels good. You know, I mean, if you've messed with a Black Mamba figure, you pretty much know what the plastic feels like. I mean, it's a little lesser quality than the Unique Toys version, but all in all, it still feels good. Still feels sturdy. Nothing really feels flimsy or fragile on it. You can see moving up the back. Got his butt plate. And some more of that metallic red, some more of that gold. Looks like he has a face on his back as well, but hey, why not? Why not? Now, as far as articulation goes, this is where a modification or two may come into play if you want to do it. Now, as far as the head goes, the head is on a ball joint on this figure, whereas on the original figure, it was just on a rotational joint and a hinge that allowed his head to move up and down. This figure, the head is on a ball joint, so you get your wiggly waggly. You can look up. Now, originally, he could not look down on mine. Now he can look down, and that's because I did a modification. Now, I saw this in a video, and I totally have forgotten the person's name. I'll put it right here once I look it up. But it's a very simple little modification you can do, and it just involves, you can see right there, just cutting a little notch. Just slicing a little notch. Just get a sharp knife and just slice a little notch right there, right underneath that ball. Just slice a little notch in there. And I also just used I used a nail file just to smooth it out, just to make it all nice and a little bit more, you know, not so raggedy looking. But yeah, you just cut that little notch right in there. And now, when you plug his head back on, now he can look down. So now he can bring his head down. So whereas before he couldn't look down, you did a little simple mod, boom. Now he can look down, and now he can look all menacing. And it's a pretty easy fix there. So, totally up to you what you want to do. Now, as far as the arms go, these shoulder pads can get out of the way. Arms can rotate a full 360. Can move in and out, all the way up on a nice ratchet joint. You do have rotation right here at the elbow. You have 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. Now, granted, if you want more range of movement, you can always turn the arms around, and now you have a double jointed elbow. So you can do that if you want to. So, hey, that's totally up to you how you want to do things there. Now, a mod that I did, because I just needed this extra range of movement because it just made the transformation a lot easier. On this version, he could not move his shoulders back. On the original figure, you can move the shoulders back, but on this one, for some reason, you can't move the shoulders back, but I made it so you can move his shoulders back. And I'll just show you what I did here. I'll show you what the deal was with this. I have to kind of take them apart to do it. Gotta open them up. I gotta open them up here. But basically, what was happening here was that for some reason they decided to have this piece here just completely squared off. So the shoulders could not move back at all. This was just totally squared off. And I didn't like that because it helps to bring his shoulders back so you can open the chest up more for the transformation, and I don't know why they decided to do that. And on the original version, you can move his shoulders back. So I didn't like that, so all I did was, again, I just took a sharp knife and just just smoothed it out, just shaved off plastic, rounded it off, and now voila, he can move his shoulders back. And that makes things a lot easier, and also helps with the posability as well. So again, that's a mod you can do if you want to. So that's a little mod that I came up with, because that did irk me a little bit that I couldn't move his shoulders back, because it's helpful. It's a helpful joint more than anything. It's not really about posability. It's really just more a helpful joint, just to kind of get things out of the way when you're transforming him, and also it helps to bring those shoulders back a little bit, so you can kind of bring his arms a little bit closer to his body as well. That helps in that respect also. So it's beneficial in a couple of ways. But moving on with the articulation here, the hands can rotate. They also can move in a bit. The fingers are nice and posable. The thumb is on a ball joint at the base and a hinge there, and each finger is on a hinge at the base. Hinge there, so you have nice, fully posable fingers there. He does have waist rotation. You can move these out of the way to accommodate your leg movement. Legs can move forward, only about that far. Back, you can get about that far. Get nice ratchets. Outward, you can almost do the full splits. The ratchets outward are not as strong, but you can tighten those up. Actually, the same guy who did the mod for the neck shows you how to tighten these up if you want to. It's in the same video, so you can do that if you wish. You got thigh rotation. You have nice deep knee bend. It's a single joint, but you get a nice deep bend out of it. And as far as the feet go, you can kind of angle that up, angle the toes up with it if you want, and you have a little bit of ankle tiltage. And of course we can give him his weaponry, we can give him his cannon. Now this post is for the jet mode, but you flip that back and that's the post you're using for the robot mode. And this will just peg right onto his forearm, like so. And then you take the chain, it is a metal chain, and that just plugs into the back of his shoulder. There you go. He's got his cannon there, so he can pew pew bang bang, pew pew bang bang, and all of that good stuff. And of course we can give him his sword and his shield. If you want to, of course you can store all of this on his back. If you want to just store the sword by itself, you just use those angled tabs, and that can just store across his back like that. Or if you want, you can tab the sword onto the shield, and all of this will just plug right into his back right there. Plug that in. You can angle that how you want and have everything stored on his back if you wish. Hey, as always, it's an option, and as always, options are good. So hey, do what you want there. But he is a warrior, and he should be holding his weapons as such. It's a typical tab in the slot of the palm method of weapon holding. Give him his sword. Give him his shield. Now the connection for the shield is pretty tight, so I would not recommend pushing this all the way in. Just get it in enough to where you can feel the friction and just leave it there. And if you don't like the gap, just kind of use that ball joint there. Just kind of move it so you don't see the gap. So that's what I would recommend there. But there he is, all armed up, and of course he looks freaking awesome. And you do also get some light up features. The cannon can light up. There's a button right here, and the battery compartment is right in here. Just open it up. It takes two LR41s, which on my copy anyway were included, and they were already installed, so I don't know if they'll be installed on your copy as well. But if they're not, just two LR41s, you can get them cheap on Amazon. You also need two LR41s for the head as well, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But yeah, just a button right there, you push it, and it switches between red and green, so you can use him as a Christmas decoration. Yay! Merry Christmas! Now you die. And you also have lights in the head, and you just pop off the top of his head. Uses magnets. Again, takes two LR41s in case yours does not come with it. It just pops right on. There's a button right here on the back of his head, and push it. Woo! And his eyes glow a nice bright red, and that looks quite cool. But also, you have the battle mask feature, so if you don't like the battle mask, you can always just open this up and you pop off this part of his face. Ah, that's always disturbing. And then you just take this, pop this on, and there you go. Now Megatron can be all like grrr at you. Of course, you can still light up the eyes. And he can be all scary and grrr-like. So, there you go. So there you have that. And now for comparison. Here he is with the Toy World Prime. Here he is with the Unique Toys Prime. And here he is with the original Unique Toys Megs. And as you can see, the KO version is a little bit shorter. Let's see if I can get him kind of face to face here so you can see. There you go, you can see a little bit better there. You can see he is a little bit shorter, a little bit downscaled. You can also see how they kind of improved on some of the details. You see the details on this in the midsection, you know, kind of flat, not a whole lot going on. But then on this version, they definitely improved upon it, made the details more pronounced. And lots of extra detail everywhere, like in the chest, and the shoulder pads, and the heads. The heads have a lot more detail as well. As you can see, just a lot more going on with the KO. So they definitely made some improvements as far as the overall detailing goes, which is quite nice. So there you go. So there you have SKYBREAKER, and yeah, it's a knockoff, but it's a nicely done knockoff in my opinion. You know, everything feels good, feels solid, feels sturdy. You know, I have the loose outward ratchets on the hips. You know, that's unfortunate, but it can be fixed. And, you know, there are some little mods you may want to do to it if you want to, just to give you some extra range of movement in places, but overall, still nicely done. I really like the enhanced molded detail on the figure. Just really takes those elements of Dragoon and just kind of steps it up a notch. Overall, love the coloration on it. I think it looks quite good. And yeah, like I said before, I was a big fan of Dragoon, and I'm a big fan of this figure too. You know, you might have to do a little something to it to make it just a little bit better as far as posability goes. But all in all, very nicely done in my opinion. So there you go. Now, I got this from Icon Store. There'll be a link in the description down below, so you can check that out. And if you use the promo code EmGo at checkout, you'll get a discount on your order. And of course, for all your other Transformers needs, you can check out BigBadToyStore.com as well. As always, linked in the description down below, so you can check that out as well. You can also check out my knockoff Transformers playlist for any reviews you may have missed, also linked in the description down below, so you can check that out as well. And I think that's it. So don't forget to check out EmGames, check out Love Peace Paranormal, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below. And I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So there is the BS-02 SKYBREAKER. And this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Big geek, be proud, boom in your face. Megatron, we meet again for the first time for the last time. What? But whatever. By the way, are you having deja vu? Yeah, kinda. Feel like we've done this before. Yeah, me too. Like we've done this many, many times before. Yeah, it's weird. Hey, you want to call it quits? Honestly, yeah. Kind of tired of this whole war thing. Okay, cool. See you around. Yeah, later.